Have you ever wondered why even small habits, like where you leave your shoes, can bring blessings or remove them? Sometimes what looks like a simple act of carelessness is actually a reflection of what's happening in your heart. In Islam, nothing is random. Not your actions, not your discipline, not your awareness. Every small act tells Allah something about your faith, because the truth is, the way you treat your home, your space, and your habits is the way you treat your iman. Let's uncover the 6 divine warnings behind this everyday mistake and how to bring barakah and peace back into your home. In Islam, cleanliness is not a matter of personal preference. It is an act of worship, a reflection of faith, and a sign of one's respect for the presence of Allah in every part of life. The Prophet Muhammad said, cleanliness is half of faith. Sahih Muslim. This profound hadith reminds us that maintaining physical purity is deeply connected to spiritual purity. It's not just about keeping things tidy, but about creating an environment where Allah's remembrance is honored and the angels of mercy feel welcome. When we speak about something as simple as leaving shoes in the wrong place, it may seem trivial, but in reality it reflects a greater spiritual principle: respect for sacred and clean spaces. The Prophet and his companions were meticulous about where they placed their shoes, ensuring that they never brought impurity into places of prayer or rest. In modern homes, this translates to being mindful not to leave shoes near muslahams, where Quran recitation happens, or even near the main entrance, where cleanliness should greet every visitor. A home where cleanliness is upheld becomes a place of barakah, blessing and tranquility. When we clean our surroundings, we're not only removing physical dirt, but also spiritual heaviness. Allah loves those who purify themselves, as mentioned in the Quran. Indeed, Allah loves those who are constantly repentant and loves those who purify themselves. Surah Al-Baqarah 222:2. Every believer should aim to create an atmosphere of purity that invites Allah's mercy. Shoes, being objects that touch the ground and carry impurities, should never be left in spots associated with worship, food, or sleep. The Prophet taught the importance of separating the pure from the impure, physically and spiritually. A careless attitude towards such small acts can reflect negligence in the heart. Moreover, respecting sacred spaces isn't limited to the mosque, it begins at home. The Prophet's home was simple but filled with peace and order. When a believer ensures their home is clean, organized and free from impurity, it becomes a place where angels descend with sakinah, tranquility. On the other hand, neglect, clutter and disrespect for clean spaces can repel barakah and bring unease. So when you're reminded to not leave your shoes in a certain spot, think beyond the surface. It's not just about tidiness. It's about discipline, awareness, and reverence. It's about acknowledging that every corner of your home is part of your worship environment. Keeping it pure is a silent form of dhikr, a remembrance of Allah through mindful living. In every step you take, remember, cleanliness purifies the body, but respect for sacred spaces purifies the soul. When both align, your home transforms from a physical shelter into a spiritual sanctuary, where Allah's presence is felt and His blessings flow freely. A home is more than walls and furniture, it is a reflection of the soul that lives within it. In Islam, order, cleanliness and structure are not matters of preference, they are spiritual discipline. When the Prophet Muhammad said, Allah is beautiful and loves beauty, it wasn't limited to appearance. It included the beauty of one's environment, manners and heart. A disorganized home can often reveal what's happening inside: confusion, negligence, or emotional unrest. Islam encourages believers to live with nahmat because chaos in the outer world can affect the inner world. When a person constantly leaves shoes scattered, clothes unattended, or the home messy, it reflects a deeper lack of mindfulness. The Prophet led a life of incredible simplicity but profound discipline. His living space was small and humble, yet always clean, calm, and filled with remembrance of Allah. This balance shows that order is not about wealth, it's about awareness and intention. A cluttered environment can quietly steal one's peace. Psychologically, disorder breeds distraction and anxiety. Spiritually, it can dull the heart's sensitivity to dhikr, remembrance of Allah. The more chaos surrounds you, the harder it becomes to focus in prayer, to feel peace in worship, or to hear the whispers of your soul calling you toward reflection. Allah created the universe in perfect balance and harmony. The sun rises and sets with precision. Seasons change in rhythm, and every creation has its place. When a believer mirrors this divine order in their surroundings, they align themselves with the nature of Allah's creation. In contrast, disorder often begins when one stops caring, when laziness takes root, and small acts of negligence become habits. Shoes scattered at the door, prayer mats folded carelessly, Quran left in dusty corners. All these are not just physical oversights, they are subtle signs of spiritual distraction. The Prophet warned against heedlessness, Ghaflah, for it slowly hardens the heart. Maintaining order in the home is not about perfection, but intention. When you take a moment to tidy, to arrange, or to organize, you are not just cleaning a space, you are resetting your heart. A believer who lives with awareness in their environment is more likely to live with awareness in their prayers and decisions. Disorder can also repel the angels of mercy. The Prophet said that angels do not enter a home with impurity or chaos. When the home is clean, peaceful, and filled with remembrance, it becomes a place where the rahmah, mercy of Allah, descends, and where hearts feel light. So if your surroundings feel heavy, if your mood feels restless, start by organizing the space around you. Because in Islam, outer order invites inner calm. A clean, organized home nurtures a heart that's ready for reflection, worship, and peace. A heart in tune with Allah's harmony. A Muslim's home is meant to be more than a physical shelter. It is a sacred space where Allah's remembrance lives, where peace, sakina, settles, and where the angels of mercy love to dwell. The Prophet Muhammad taught that angels are drawn to places of purity, remembrance, and order, while they avoid homes filled with impurity, negligence, or chaos. Respecting the presence of angels in our homes is a sign of spiritual maturity and deep awareness of the unseen world that surrounds us. Angels are constantly moving among us, recording our deeds, protecting us by Allah's command, and bringing barakah, blessings, into our spaces. When a home is clean, peaceful, and filled with dhikr, angels enter with tranquility and light. But when there is disorder, impurity, or heedlessness, the angels withdraw, leaving a spiritual emptiness that humans often sense as heaviness or discomfort. The Prophet said, "The angels do not enter a house in which there is a dog or an image of living beings." Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith highlights that purity and respect are essential for maintaining an environment where Allah's blessings remain. Something as small as where we leave our shoes or how we treat our prayer space reflects our attitude toward the presence of angels. Shoes that carry dust, impurity, or disorder should never be left near areas of prayer or remembrance. Angels honor spaces where Allah is remembered, and showing care for such spaces is an act of humility and reverence. When we keep our homes clean, avoid unnecessary clutter, and refrain from filling our spaces with distractions or sins, we are essentially inviting angels to stay, and through them, Allah's mercy flows. Moreover, respecting the angels also means watching what happens inside our homes. When there is gossip, argument, or heedlessness, it drives away the spiritual calm they bring. But when Quran is recited, when family members greet each other with peace, and when gratitude replaces complaint, angels surround the home with light. Every act of dhikr, even a soft subhanallah or alhamdulillah, attracts their presence and multiplies blessings. The opposite is also true. Neglecting spiritual cleanliness allows unseen harm to creep in. A messy or spiritually dark home often feels heavy or tense because the tranquility that angels bring has been replaced by human negligence. To restore peace, begin by honoring your home as a sacred space. Keep areas of prayer spotless. Handle the Quran with care and avoid leaving shoes or impure items nearby. Begin your day with Bismillah and end your night with Ayat al-Kursi and Surah al-Baqarah, as the Prophet recommended, for these protect the home and invite angelic presence. A believer who respects the angels respects Allah, because their presence is a reflection of His mercy. When you maintain your home with this consciousness, you transform it into more than a living space. It becomes a sanctuary where light dwells, hearts feel calm, and Allah's barakah never leaves. In Islam, greatness is not always found in grand gestures. It is often hidden in the small, consistent acts that reflect a believer's heart and discipline. The Prophet Muhammad taught that the most beloved deeds to Allah are those done consistently, even if they are small. Sahih al-Bukhari. This hadith reveals a profound truth. Allah values the sincerity, discipline, and awareness behind small actions more than their size. Leaving shoes in the right place, keeping your home organized, or showing respect for sacred spaces might seem insignificant, but in reality, these are signs of excellence in daily life. Each small act demonstrates gratitude toward Allah's blessings and awareness of His presence. When a believer develops the habit of mindfulness in minor details, they train their soul for greater responsibility. The person who disciplines themselves to care for their environment is more likely to care for their prayers, relationships, and duties to Allah. Discipline in Islam is not harsh control, it is spiritual structure. When you take care of small responsibilities like maintaining cleanliness or order, you are showing that you honor what Allah has given you. Shoes left carelessly at the entrance may seem trivial, but they reflect inner heedlessness. The same neglect that can grow into spiritual laziness or forgetfulness. Kahela. On the other hand, when you make an effort to act with order and respect, you are expressing gratitude for Allah's ni'mah, blessings. The Quran reminds us, if you are grateful, I will surely increase you. Surah Ibrahim 14:7. Gratitude in Islam is not just spoken with words, it is lived through actions. Organizing your space, handling belongings carefully, and showing mindfulness in your home are physical manifestations of thankfulness. These small disciplines open the door to barakah, divine blessing, while negligence can quietly remove it. Moreover, these daily acts also nurture humility. When you bend down to place your shoes properly, when you clean your space before prayer, or when you help keep your home tidy, you are practicing a form of humility that aligns with the Prophet's character. He never considered any task beneath him. He would mend his own clothes, help with household chores, and show utmost care for order and cleanliness. The lesson is simple but powerful. Every small act done with sincerity has spiritual weight. A believer who treats their environment with care shows respect for Allah's creation and gratitude for His provision. Over time, these habits shape the soul, teaching patience, discipline, and awareness. So the next time you are reminded to pick up your shoes, tidy your room, or clean your prayer space, don't think of it as a small or meaningless action. Think of it as ibadah, worship through awareness and gratitude. Because in Islam, it's often the smallest acts that carry the biggest reflections of faith.